Everyone froze. That's exactly what happened the day I walked into my brother's penthouse in Manhattan, only to see him arguing with 5 women. Each stunning, each elegant, each claiming a piece of him and a piece of his fortune. My brother, Darius Sterling, once the golden heir of the Sterling family, had become the center of a scandal that would rock our lives forever. He was calm, collected, wearing a tailored navy suit, yet there was panic in his eyes. Darius had always been confident, the kind of man who walked into rooms and made everyone feel invisible. But here, he was vulnerable, trapped by his own choices. The women, Monique, Jasmine, Tiana, Alicia, and Simone, each demanded recognition, each holding secrets of their own. And what no one knew was, Darius had promised them everything, without realizing the storm he was about to unleash. The tension was palpable. The walls of the penthouse, adorned with modern art and gold accents, suddenly felt suffocating. You could hear a pin drop. I remembered thinking, how did my brother, born with a silver spoon, end up in this chaos? Darius had always been impulsive, but no one expected him to marry Monique first. It was a whirlwind Vegas wedding, champagne, paparazzi, and whispered rumors. Everyone thought it was a fleeting romance, a flashy billionaire playboy stunt. But what no one saw was the cunning deal behind it. Monique wasn't just a wife, she was a strategist, securing stakes in Darius' businesses under the guise of love. Their marriage was glamorous on the surface. Red carpets, charity galas, luxury yachts. Yet behind closed doors, tension brewed. Monique had demands that slowly drained Darius' patience and resources. He believed he was in love, blind to the meticulous plans she was quietly executing. And in that moment, the seed of his downfall was planted. Darius tried to negotiate a life that allowed him freedom, but with Monique, every word, every gesture was a calculated step toward control. I watched as he slowly realized he wasn't the one in charge. Not in love, not in business, not in life. Just when Darius thought he had Monique under control, Jasmine appeared, a whirlwind of charm and mystery. She wasn't just another woman, she was a calculated force. Tall, with cascading curls and eyes that seemed to see through lies, she captivated him instantly. Within 6 months of meeting, Darius found himself standing at another altar, in an intimate rooftop ceremony overlooking Chicago. Jasmine's approach was subtle but powerful. She knew exactly how to plant doubts in Darius' mind, creating tension between him and Monique. What no one realized was that Jasmine had her own network of business contacts, quietly siphoning influence from Darius' empire. And while he believed he was winning hearts, he was losing control of his wealth. The thrill of a new romance blinded him. The city lights shimmered below as Jasmine whispered promises of loyalty and passion, while in reality, she was orchestrating the next step in Darius' downfall. Every move he made seemed strategic to him, but to her it was predictable, almost laughable. Before Darius could recover from Jasmine's influence, Tiana arrived, fiery, bold, and unrelenting. Meeting her was like stepping into a storm. With her sharp eyes and confident stride, she instantly challenged every decision Darius had ever made. Tiana didn't just want love, she wanted power. And she knew exactly how to take it. The marriage was explosive. Tiana didn't wait for ceremonies or approvals. She embedded herself into the boardroom, questioning investments, confronting advisors, and slowly turning Darius' empire upside down. Yet he was enthralled, convinced her fire was a reflection of their passion. What no one noticed was how she methodically aligned with Jasmine behind Darius' back. The two women, seemingly independent, had formed an invisible alliance. Each time Darius tried to assert authority, he stumbled into traps set by those he trusted most. And as the dust settled, I realized the billionaire I knew was now dancing on a fragile thread, his empire quietly unraveling. Just when Darius thought the storm had reached its peak, Alicia entered, quiet, seemingly innocent, but razor-sharp. She wasn't loud like Tiana or magnetic like Jasmine. She was the kind of person who made everyone underestimate her. And that, of course, was her power. Their wedding was understated, a private ceremony in a lakeside estate in Michigan. Few attended, yet every move was calculated. Alicia slowly gained access to Darius' financial accounts under the guise of helping manage his wealth. Every signature she collected, every agreement she suggested, brought him closer to ruin without him realizing it. While Darius adored her gentle demeanor, I noticed subtle changes. Staff whispered that Alicia was meticulous, analyzing investments and redirecting funds in ways only a genius strategist could. And yet, he remained blissfully unaware, believing he had finally found calm after the chaos of previous marriages. Then came Simone, commanding, confident, unapologetic. By now, Darius had married 4 women, each one bending his empire to her will, but Simone was different. She didn't just want control, she wanted total dominance. Meeting her in Toronto at a charity gala, it was clear she was unstoppable. Her presence alone shifted the room's energy. People instinctively deferred to her authority. The marriage was swift, almost transactional. Simone had connections in law, media, and finance. She immediately leveraged her influence to tighten control over Darius' assets. And with the quiet support of Alicia and the strategic alliance of Jasmine and Tiana, Darius' fortune began to crumble faster than anyone could imagine. I watched as my brother, once untouchable, struggled to navigate this complex web of alliances. Each woman had her own agenda, and together, they formed an unstoppable force. Darius' confidence shattered, and for the first time, the man who had walked through life untouchable found himself powerless. The billionaire heir was now on the brink of ruin, all because of his own choices and his inability to see the danger of mixing love, lust, and ambition. Darius' world was collapsing faster than he could comprehend. The empire his family had built for generations, tech companies, luxury real estate, and high-stakes investments, was now under siege. Each wife had subtly redirected resources, siphoning wealth and influencing key decisions. Monique's original schemes, Jasmine's alliances, Tiana's aggressive business moves, Alicia's meticulous accounting, and Simone's dominance had combined into a perfect storm. Board meetings, once his domain, became battlegrounds. Advisors whispered nervously as the women strategized behind closed doors. Darius tried to assert authority, but every move was anticipated. It was as if the empire itself had turned against him. The billionaire who once owned the skyline was now watching his life unravel like a poorly edited film. What no one knew, except me, was how calculated it all had been. Each woman had her own reasons, their motivations blending passion, revenge, and ambition. Darius' downfall wasn't dramatic in a single moment. It was slow, methodical, and poetic in its inevitability. The world caught wind of Darius' chaos. Headlines screamed, "Billionaire Sterling loses fortune to wives' schemes." Social media exploded, videos circulating of his emotional breakdown at corporate events. Investors panicked. Clients withdrew. The man who once commanded respect now faced ridicule. Darius' relationships with his staff, his closest allies, and even family became strained. The women, who had once seemed private and loyal, now took center stage. Monique gave interviews hinting at her influence. Jasmine was spotted at high-profile business conferences making deals in her name. Tiana appeared on finance panels with bold critiques of Darius' strategies. Alicia quietly handled remaining assets, and Simone's media presence painted her as the real power. And yet, amidst public humiliation, Darius didn't fully realize the depth of betrayal. The orchestrated chaos wasn't just about money. It was about control, ego, and poetic justice. Each woman had a personal score to settle, and together, they had turned a golden heir into a cautionary tale. Just when the world thought Darius had lost everything, a secret came to light that nobody expected. Hidden in a safe deposit box, forgotten for years, were documents revealing that Darius' fortune wasn't entirely his to lose. There had been a clause in the Sterling family trust. If his assets were mismanaged, control would revert to the true heir, his estranged younger sibling, me. The women, unaware of this hidden safeguard, had orchestrated their plans under the illusion that Darius' wealth was theirs for the taking. Monique gasped when she saw the legal papers. Jasmine froze mid-conversation with her investors. Tiana's bold confidence faltered. Alicia's meticulous planning crumbled into panic, and Simone's commanding presence wavered. In one dramatic moment, the reality hit. Darius' empire was not gone, merely in transition. And the irony? The sibling he underestimated, the one he had treated like a bystander, now held the power to decide everyone's fate. It was poetic justice, a cinematic reversal no one saw coming. The aftermath was cinematic in every sense. Monique, Jasmine, Tiana, Alicia, and Simone were forced to relinquish control. Some lost their influence completely. Others kept small stakes, but the power dynamics had shifted irrevocably. Darius, humbled by the chaos and betrayal, vowed never to underestimate loyalty or underestimate consequences again. I, the sibling, stepped into the role of guardian, overseeing the empire with fairness, while teaching Darius and the world a lesson about trust, ambition, and greed. The wives, once untouchable, now faced the consequences of overreaching ambition, a harsh yet poetic justice. Darius and I reconciled in private, sharing a quiet rooftop moment as the city lights shimmered below. He had learned the ultimate lesson. Wealth is meaningless without wisdom, foresight, and genuine connections. And for everyone else, the story became legend, a cautionary tale about power, manipulation, and the hidden forces that can turn a billionaire's life upside down. The empire was restored, but everyone involved had been forever changed. Secrets had been revealed, alliances shattered, and a simple truth emerged. No matter how high you climb, you can fall, but sometimes justice waits silently, ready to turn the tables. Have you ever seen someone rise after betrayal? Share your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe for more unbelievable billionaire stories.